So it seems as if Sony is going all hands on deck with this modern digital era. But this is not the first time that Sony has actually tried to do an all digital console. For those of us that can remember, way back in the early 2000s, Sony made the Sony PSP, or the PlayStation Portable, and it sold really good. Well, they decided to make a all-digital version of the PSP. This version of the PSP, known as the PS Go, released in North America on March 24th, 2005. And this thing was a epic failure. Nobody wanted a all-digital PSP. They wanted the physical copy version of the PSP. Sony prides itself in releasing to the public exactly how many units of their devices that they sell. But with the PSP Go, Sony decided to lock it behind the vault and not tell anybody exactly how many units were sold because it was a gigantic flop. And now, according to Sony, the PlayStation 6 is going to be completely digital. Not only that, but supposedly the PlayStation 5, this point going forward, a lot of the games that were released on the PlayStation 5 are going to be digital only. This announcement by Sony, though, did have a lot of backlash. As a result of Sony announcing that by 2028, all games will be digital only, this has caused a massive PlayStation Plus cancellation. Now, personally myself, I am primarily a PC player. And for those of us in the PC gaming scene, we have been all digital for over 10 years now. This is nothing new to us. We are completely used to this. But there is a huge issue if Sony goes all digital. Not that long ago, there was major backlash against Sony due to the fact that some of the movies that were on the PlayStation Store, Sony had ended the licensing agreement with that company. And the people that had actually purchased those movies, they were completely stripped away from them. No refunds, no store credits, absolutely nothing was given back to the people that they took these movies from. And their excuse for it was, well, you were just buying a partial licensing agreement. You didn't actually own it. And this is something that's completely handled differently on Steam. When a licensing agreement ends on Steam, if you have purchased that game prior to that license being ended, you still have access to that game. They don't take it from you. It remains in your library, and if you uninstall it, you can install it whenever you choose to. And this is one of my biggest issues with Sony. If the PlayStation 6 does go completely all digital, what is going to happen if licensing agreement ends with third-party studios? Are you going to pay $79.99, $89.99, $90, $100, $120, $150 with the way that prices of games are going? That license ends and Sony just takes it from you, giving you nothing in return. I paid $150 to rent a game for a couple years and now you just took it from me? And I understand the argument from the pro-digital people, as personally myself, I am pro-digital. All the movies I own, all the games that I own on Sony, Xbox, PC are all digital. I understand the argument that they make, that they could just put an update in and you can't play it anymore anyways. Yes and no. There are certain games on the PlayStation 5 that you can play offline that doesn't require anything. But if the PlayStation 6 has to be hooked to the internet 24/7, and now Sony dangles the games above your head and just takes them when they want to, this is going to be a massive issue. This is truly bringing back memories of the Xbox One launch, when they had stated that the Xbox One was going to lock your game to your console. There was going to be a serial code on the game that would register to your specific console, and nobody else could use that. And Sony just absolutely tore into them and dominated the 8th generation of consoles. Now they're doing exactly what they were making fun of Xbox for, only much worse. At least with Xbox, if it would have been locked down to your console, you would still have the physical case and disc for the collectors. Now they're saying you can't collect a darn thing. And I honestly do not think this is a good idea for the console scene. There is a large base of console players that love to collect the physical games. And if you take that away from them, they will not buy your console. I don't know, I just think this is a bad idea. I understand that Sony has really been trying to push digital only to line their pockets deeper and deeper and deeper. Because as we have seen, just because a game is digital does not mean it's going to be cheaper, even though they're cutting out the entire middleman. They don't have to pay for the discs. They don't have to pay somebody to write the discs. They don't have to pay a distribution company to send them out. They don't have to pay a store to have it on their shelves. It's strictly right straight from the Sony servers, right straight to your console. It seems to me that all they're doing is getting greedy and greedy. Cut out the middleman so that way our shareholders get richer and richer and richer. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think this is a good idea? If the PlayStation 6 does end up being digital only, are you going to buy one? Are you not going to buy one? Let's have a conversation down below.